What's up? It's Martin here. So this past summer, I've been feeling kind of burnt out for the past 2.5 months or so. So in this video, I'll share my experience with burnout as a student, what burnout is, signs that you might be burning out, as well as ways to prevent burnout or recover from it. And I hope to also inform other students like you and I that burnout is a real thing and we should all be trying to take on a better work-life balance and keep each other accountable for giving ourselves the breaks that we need from our work, so that burnout and mental health issues aren't as prevalent in our communities in the future. So without further ado, make sure to smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm, because that really makes a big difference in getting this video out to more people who really need to see it. So yeah, let's get on with it. So burnout can be defined as physical, emotional, and mental exhaustion caused by long periods of prolonged stress. This can be caused by various factors such as excessive workload, lack of recognition for your work, lack of control, social support or sleep, unclear instructions at work, and also high-pressure environments. To add on to that, perfectionists and type A personalities or high achievers are more prone to burnout than most other people. However, that doesn't stop burnout from affecting literally anyone. Personally, I think I'm a little bit of a perfectionist and high achiever, so I guess that kind of makes sense. And I believe that a heightened workload from both school and extracurriculars, combined with doing YouTube, kind of led me to burnout in the early months of summer. And in some cases, when I was working with other peers, I felt like I had a lack of control in some of my work because I was not in charge of a lot of the projects that I was a part of, and having the lack of control or unclear instructions kind of chipped at me slowly as time went on. A really crucial lesson that I learned from this year to not have an excessive workload is to not say yes to everything. And that's especially if you already have your plate pretty full. You don't want to fill it up with anything more than you can handle, because that's crossing dangerous territory that can lead to burnout that can last anywhere from weeks to months or even years in some cases. I didn't know it was burnout at first, but I started to feel less interested in my work, and the subjects that I was studying before that got me excited no longer gave me the sense of joy that I got from studying it. I also had less focus or motivation to even start doing any of the tasks or work on things that were important to me before getting burnt out. And I was also a little bit more forgetful than usual, being that when I was studying during summer school, a lot of the information wasn't going in my head like it usually does. That's when I knew that something was wrong and kind of pinned it down to burnout, which I'd say it was a pretty accurate description of what I was going through. So if you can't differentiate whether it's stress or burnout, here's a little table providing you a little bit of a comparison between the two. You can pause the video here if you would like to read more, because I'm not going to waste your time explaining it when you can probably read it quicker than I can say everything that's on the table. So I'm going to move on to how you can tell when you are burning out. Now, if you've been through burnout yourself, then you'll probably recognize these signs well before someone who hasn't gone through this process. But if you haven't felt this way before, then it'd be pretty hard to pinpoint, as with my case. I just thought I was just a little stressed and tired, that's all. But here are some things that you can look out for. Now, you might be experiencing burnout if every day seems like a bad day, and you're tired of literally doing anything. And so you don't care for doing anything related to your work, and you don't really care what's going on in your life right now. Basically, you're just feeling just completely out of it. Another thing is that you might feel like your days are very dull or just too overwhelming. Or my last red flag for determining whether you have burnout or not is the feeling that whatever you do won't make a difference or that you're not being appreciated enough. Now, if any of these points resonated with you, then you're probably already burnt out, at least in the slightest bit. And let's get on with how to prevent or recover from being burnt out. So here's what I have to say about your recovery. Don't set like a time limit or timeline that you need to follow, because that can get a little bit annoying since you never know when you will recover from burning out. It takes a different amount of time for different people, and depending on your circumstances, you may need more or less time than someone else. So just be forgiving and flexible with yourself during this time period. So ask yourself, what kind of break do I need, and about how long I expect it to take. The types of breaks you would take will be different from anybody else's, and it doesn't just mean not doing work and just watching YouTube videos or something like that. I mean, that might be your form of recovering from burnout, but for me, doing that just made the days feel very unproductive, just very dull. Like I'm honestly just watching videos just to pass the time, and I don't think that counts as rest. Whether it be biking with a friend, playing video games, going on a run, or something like that. I'm sure you all have one activity in your life that will help relieve the stress and will help you take your mind off your work in a positive manner, instead of distracting yourself like YouTube videos like I was doing in the beginning of my burnout phase. Another thing that you can do during your recovery to speed up the process is to talk and connect with your trusted friends and family. However, I have to add that if your burnout was caused by negative relationships, then I try to stay clear from those people as much as possible. It sucks, but if a relationship isn't healthy, then it isn't worth maintaining. So if this is you, then you might want to try to go out there and just make new friends. Pretty sad to say. And the last thing I have to say about recovering from burnout is to find a hobby that you really enjoy. Just try new things. Maybe this one hobby will give you a little bit more variety and balance in your life and can give you a greater sense of purpose instead of living your life just solely focused on your work. And even outside of your work, you're thinking about your work. If you have stuff to do outside of work, then your life suddenly becomes just that much more exciting. And to make sure that your work won't spill into your leisurely time, which everybody needs. Now for prevention, this is where healthy habits come in. So good nutrition, regular exercise, a consistent sleep schedule, as well as proper hydration. These things will help keep your body and mind as fresh as possible. Another thing that's really important to prevent burnout is to connect with your friends and family more often. This can be quite tough when you transition to university, and sometimes you just get too caught up in work and the university life that you just kind of forget to call your parents and your friends that are going to different schools as you. And the last thing is to remember to give yourself small breaks between your work, as well as maybe a day off every so often, maybe every week or 2 weeks, just so you can do something enjoyable with your friends and family, just so you can release some stress and you're not working all the time. Because when your reward for studying is just a grade and you don't achieve it, this relationship between your work and your life gets pretty toxic in my opinion. I think I finally figured it out. I just need a break or a day off every so often because I kind of just work and I just don't really do anything exciting on the days that I'm actually off. So, wow. Huge concept. Take a break, right? Wow. I can't believe I haven't figured this out earlier. Well, that's about it for this video. I don't know if I was actually in the right position to speak about this or not, but I hope that you guys learned something and got a better perspective on how you can balance your work life and how you can balance your work and life a little bit better in the coming years. As always, links will be in the description below if you want more information. Good luck in your next year. Make sure to give yourself a break. And yeah, smash the like button and hit subscribe with post notifications on so you can see more videos like this. And yeah, that is about it for me. See ya.